Alright, I'm looking at a Craftsman on this video, a 19-inch 25cc Bushwacker Hedge trimmer. Right off the bat, one of the things I'm seeing wrong with it is it's got a broken fuel line. That would be going to right there, it looks like. This is dropped off for repair by a friend of mine, Jeff. Says his dad likes all Craftsman stuff. Nothing wrong with that. If you like a brand and it runs good, I guess the Craftsman stuff is pretty good for the residential user. So I'm going to pop the cover off of this, shoot some fuel in it, and see if it runs. It's like a standard Phillips head. Gets that cover off right there. There's your air filter, which is falling apart. See that chunk fell out of it there? Every time I touch it, it's falling apart. Well, we're going to get our Max carbon choke cleaner and spray some of that in there and see if this unit will fire off. This has an on and off switch. Okay, so it does fire off. I'd like to hear it run a little longer. Well, with the choke closed, nothing's going in it. See if we can get a little fuel in there. Interesting thing about this unit is this fuel line right here actually runs into the base of this handle. Actually, the throttle, the pickup line, and the return line all run into this handle. So we have to take this assembly right here apart to replace these fuel lines. Okay, for this I'm using the hex key set. I think this is I'm not sure what size that is, but it's the one that fits. Craftsman is actually the house brand of the former Sears. I believe the last one around here in North Carolina in Winston just closed up here a while back. We're taking these 3 hex bolts out here. And then we got a screw on this handle right here on the back. We pull our handle back, we see our fuel lines, how they go in there. And the wire for our cutoff switch is right there. That's what we're going to have to get out there. The tank itself appears to be dry. I believe this fuel line here has actually been replaced before. Doesn't appear to be in that bad a shape. Okay, I'm going to remove our rotting fuel line here. Okay, I'm pulling our old fuel line out now. Yeah, that thing is pretty well gone. Pretty rotten. Our pickup actually looks pretty good. Okay, prime line is what I'm using to replace this. I think this is 0.80. $7.48 at Advance Auto. They say they got a lifetime warranty on this, so if it leaks I can take it back and get another one. One thing I'm going to do is cross cut the end of this fuel line to try to make it easier to get through that hole. Like that. Okay, once you can get that little bit fed through that hole, you can go in there with a pair of needle nose pliers and pull it out. Okay, I'm going to pull enough out so I can install my fuel filter and pickup on it. Okay, getting my fuel line installed back on my fuel filter and fuel pickup here. Looking down into that gas tank, I see a little bit of crud. In fact, I'm just going to generally blow this thing off, I believe. So that made our unit a little cleaner to work on. Let's get it back up on the table. Okay, our next ordeal is going to be getting all of this run back through the handle like it's supposed to be. Let's make sure we've got our enough fuel line in there to for our pickup to roam around in the tank. I'm gonna pull just a little more there if I can. Okay, I do believe this was the first fuel line in this slot right here. Then the switch wire goes in front of that. And then this fuel line goes back right here in front of all of it. So let's put our handle back together and see if this carburetor will draw fuel. Okay, I've got my 3 hex nuts back in right there. Okay, I'm going to reinstall my throttle connector now. You'll see those slots right there are going to line up with the slots on that. Then somewhere over the rainbow is a screw that goes in there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so we got our bolts reinstalled on our handle. This one, this one, this one here, and this one back here. I'm not sure what size that is. I will flash that up in the video while I'm doing it. But I didn't have a handle size that would fit that. So I just use my variable size one here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut my fuel line to length here. Make sure you get that fuel line down on that stem pretty good. I know it's hard. It wants to fight you some, but you can get it on there if you mess with it enough. Just make sure you got a good secure connection there. I think I can hear air actually in my tank there. This carburetor may be okay. We'll have to get some fuel in it and see. Unfortunately, right now I don't have any 40-to-1 fuel, and that's what this Craftsman wants. So I'm going to pick up some 40-to-1 fuel and continue on with this tomorrow. Okay, I have the correct fuel for this thing. The owner's manual says to use 40-to-1. We have some VP small engine fuel here. So we're going to see if this carburetor will work properly. Stuff's getting expensive at like $10.49 a can now plus tax. Okay, I have the proper 40-to-1 fuel in there now. These kind have a primer bulb on top. I'm actually seeing fuel come through the line, so alright, let's give it a yank and see if it'll crank. Slingshot the gauge. It wants to run. Okay, we got our fuel line on our Bushwacker Hedge trimmer here, and it seems to be running okay. I've got to order an air filter for it, and this is what I'm gonna have to get for that. Okay, I've been cleaning on this thing and got it cleaned up a little bit. I'm going to oil these blades. There's really a whole lot of crud on these blades. I'm not your man to sharpen these things. Actually, they look pretty good. I usually take mine to a lawn and garden center where they got somebody there to do that. I don't have the right stuff to sharpen these things. Mainly just want to get a little oil in between all these points here. You kind of take a rag and go over it and mop up your excess if you have to. Oil all those points up real good. Now I'm just going to take a rag and kind of get up the excess. Okay, well, we're just waiting on a air filter piece for this right here. It's a round air element, and as soon as I get that, we'll put that on there and we'll wrap this thing up. Okay, this is continuing on with the Craftsman 19-inch 25cc set of hedge trimmers. I believe these are actually from like the late 90s, early 2000s, because some of them have emission stickers on them for California from 2001, so I'm assuming these are late 90s stuff. Feather I found outside the garage. This is from Dwayne Whetstone. Actually, this guy's from my state of North Carolina, in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. That's along the coast. So he's down at the beautiful beach. Let's open this up and get this air filter installed. Typical Phillips head screwdriver gets these off. This is our filter. That's what it looks like. Goes right around this plastic piece, right around that insert there. Okay, then we tighten and screw back up to that. You don't want to over tighten these because this is plastic. It can break. You just want to get it on there snug where it's not walking off of there. Now that we got our air filter installed, we can adjust our carburetor and see if we can get that lag out of it. See if we can get a cold start out of it too. To do that, you got to have a special adjustment tool. This is a Zama carburetor. A lot of these you have to have a special adjustment tool. I know Troy-Bilt's like that, Ryobi's like that, Husqvarna. All those carburetors, steel, they have special adjustments on those high and low settings on those carburetors. Okay, after I get this started, I'll try to adjust the carburetor. This is a cold start though. We'll see how it does. I'm going to give this full choke and pump this primer bulb. Flip my switch to on. Well, it wants to run instantly almost. I'll give it half choke. No choke. Okay, I've inspected that spark plug and it's clean. So I just wanted to check that and make sure. Okay, I've checked the spark plug and I've let it cool down. Let's try a cold start on it and make sure our carburetor is adjusted right. Okay, I'm on full choke. Turn my switch on. So with a fuel line, air filter, and a can of 40-to-1 fuel, we've got around 20 bucks in this. So thanks for joining me for fixing a Craftsman 19-inch 25cc Bushwacker Hedge trimmer.